Hi guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Did you ever think this would happen after you rapped too?
Oh my goodness.
I didn't.
Yeah, no. This is and what I really didn't expect, I definitely didn't think we would do it, but I absolutely didn't think that we had it in us to make the best of the three. And that's what I think has actually happened. I think this movie is, in terms of the story, the best of the three.
Today?
Well, I think people are a lot more sensitive today.
No, I call gate on that right there. Man, nigga, this ain't Monopoly. Hey, man. Roll again, bro. Clyde, you better unask me before you find yourself a pinky short. You better roll again before you find yourself an artery short.
They take comedy way too serious. You know, you gotta remember comedy is an outlet. Comedy heals.
Before we get into this little physical confrontation, try this. Before you go growling up in people's face, take one Tic Tac and put it in your mouth and get a bang out of life.
Comedy is what we all need in our lives, and I think some people take certain jokes and certain things so serious.
Man, fuck that cheap ass watch, man.
And that they forget the laughter and the humor in it all and what it's meant to do and do for you. And you have to have it in your life, because on the other side of pain is comedy.
What if I told you that behind the laughs, behind the fame, behind one of the most iconic sitcoms in history, Martin Lawrence was quietly unraveling. The man who made millions cry with laughter was crying out for help, and no one was listening. From public meltdowns to industry blacklisting, strokes, lawsuits, and whispered conspiracies, this isn't just another Hollywood story. This is the story they didn't want you to know. Let's break the silence. In the 90s, Martin Lawrence was unstoppable. From Do the Right Thing to House Party, Boomerang, Bad Boys, and of course, the cultural juggernaut, Martin, he was comedy royalty. The energy, the confidence, the hustle. Martin was what Kevin Hart is today, but rawer. In 1992, he took over Def Comedy Jam, and by 1994, he was hosting SNL. Everything he touched turned to gold. But success, as it turns out, doesn't come without a cost. The cracks in Martin Lawrence's seemingly flawless rise began to show, and fast. He wasn't just pushing comedic boundaries, he was demolishing them. His 1994 stand-up film, You So Crazy, was raw, raunchy, and unapologetically Martin. But the censors weren't laughing. The film was so explicit it was hit with an NC-17 rating, a commercial kiss of death in Hollywood. No big theater wanted to touch it. Martin's team had to scramble, selling it to another distributor just to get it released. Unrated. It was Martin's comedy, uncensored and untamed, but it came at a cost. He was now marked as too risky by the industry. That same year, he scored a monumental gig, hosting Saturday Night Live. This should have been a career-defining moment. Instead, it became a PR disaster. In his opening monologue, Martin launched into a graphic, no-holds-barred rant about female hygiene. It was meant to be funny. But to NBC execs, it was way over the line. They didn't just bleep it. They scrubbed the monologue from reruns entirely and slapped Martin with a lifetime ban from SNL. Think about that. Banned from the biggest stage in comedy. Not suspended. Not warned. Banned. Some say he went off script.
Yo, you got some beautiful women, but you got something out there that, I gotta say something. Some of you are not washing your properly.
Martin claimed he performed the exact same set in rehearsals and no one blinked. So, was it a setup, a trap, or just a comedian going too far? The public only saw controversy. But behind the scenes, something darker was starting to brew. Soon after the smiles faded, the high-energy Martin everyone knew started showing signs of wear. The quick wit slowed down. The outbursts became louder. The whispers in Hollywood grew louder too. Was he spiraling? And then came the incident that changed everything. Martin Lawrence, on a hot LA summer day, fully dressed in layers, was seen running in the streets, waving his arms and screaming, "They're trying to kill me!" No script, no cameras, just Martin, lost, scared, and unraveling in broad daylight. Police had to restrain him. The media spun it as a mental breakdown, but others weren't so quick to accept that version. Why was a multimillionaire comedian running through the streets like he was being hunted? Was it paranoia or a warning? This wasn't just stress. This was a man sending out a distress signal. But instead of help, he got headlines. Instead of compassion, he got silence. Hollywood turned the page and moved on. But for Martin, this was just the beginning of the unraveling. Behind the scenes, things were far from funny. Tensions with co-star Tisha Campbell exploded. She filed a lawsuit claiming harassment and disturbing on-set behavior. Eventually, she returned to finish the final episodes, but under one condition. She and Martin couldn't be on set at the same time. Producers stitched together fake scenes of them together using editing tricks. Let that sink in. Their chemistry made the show iconic, but off camera, it was chaos. Even Carl Anthony Payne, Cole, said things got toxic. Martin, once beloved by the cast, began lashing out.
Like a relationship, right? So imagine if you were in a relationship that ended badly with somebody. You know, that was then, right? And now, if that person is still around.
Garrett Morris, fired without warning. By 1999, Martin collapsed while jogging in heavy clothing and fell into a 3-day coma. The official cause? Heat exhaustion.
Thank you for saying that we look good and that I look good, because there's a rumor out there that I had a stroke, man. Man. That's totally not true, so I just want to clear that up. But I thank everybody for the concern and the love, and just thank you. But Marty's all good.
Marty's all right.
Baby. You heard it.
There's also a rumor, and I wasn't gonna bring it up, that you're a clone. That was the one that I heard. That you've been cloned.
Well, that's AI.
Yeah.
But why was he wearing a plastic suit in the summer? Was he prepping for a role or running from something? By the time Bad Boys 2 hit theaters in 2003, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith had cemented their legacy as one of the most iconic duos in action comedy history. Explosions, one-liners, slow-motion walk-offs. The Bad Boys brand was more than just a franchise, it was a brotherhood, or so we thought. Behind the jokes, gunfights, and blockbuster success, something was quietly shifting. Fast forward to recent years, Bad Boys 3 is released, and fans notice something's off. Martin's energy dimmed.
You know, a big part of fighting crime is being drive up to them. They'll fly away. That better be a safe or a piano. Oh! Cover the front door. I'm retired. I'm a civilian.
His delivery, slower. That signature spark we loved from the 90s, now just flickering. At first, people blamed age, health, or even stress, but rumors started spreading that Martin was growing distant from everything, especially Will. So when Bad Boys 4 buzz began to build, fans were hyped, but Martin wasn't. Insiders whispered he didn't want to return, not because of money, not because of time, but because of what he'd seen. He was reportedly telling close friends, "I'm done making movies with Will, period." Wait, what? The same Will Smith who once called Martin his brother? The same duo who made millions laugh, cheer, and rewind? That bond was broken. Why? Well, this is where the whispers get louder. Some say Martin had uncovered disturbing truths about the inner workings of Hollywood. Deals behind closed doors, scandals used like weapons, and people in power pulling the strings. Others claim Martin saw Will getting too deep with the wrong crowd and made the decision to back away, quietly. It wasn't beef, it was self-preservation. And Martin, having already gone through public breakdowns and career landmines, wasn't about to walk back into a system he no longer trusted.
She's the one that told me I should do it with Will, because I wanted to do it with Eddie Murphy, and that's my man. And I was like,
I'm sitting right here, Mark.
He knows you. They know you, my man. You know, they know that. You know, we ride or die.
Yeah.
We ride. I'm saying at that time, you know, Eddie. You know, I wanted Eddie for the movie, but I couldn't afford Eddie. So my sister was like, "Mom, I think you should do it. Will's the best choice." Yeah. So I called Will and said, "Could you come to my house, have a dinner, and you talk? I want to talk about this movie." And he came to the house, and after talking to Will 5 minutes. So
you knew it. Yeah, at the time, you guys were two giant sitcom stars.
Yeah, and that's what Martin was saying. He was like, two biggest black dudes on television. If we come together and we make a movie together. And I was like, yo, that sounds good. I said, let me read the script. He was like, nah,
The two weren't seen together like they used to be. No joint interviews, no playful banter, no Instagram posts celebrating their legendary duo status, just distance. And then came the slap, the 2022 Oscars. Will Smith, live on stage, slaps Chris Rock in front of the world. The internet went nuclear, but Martin, silent.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win!
And that silence was loud because maybe he saw it coming. Maybe he'd already seen the cracks in Will's armor, the weight of fame, the pressure to maintain a brand.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it, all right? That was a nice one, okay.
The hidden battles behind the smiles. Or maybe, just maybe, Martin knew what happens when you get too close to the machine. He knew how scandals are orchestrated, how narratives are flipped, how reputations are destroyed overnight. He'd lived it.
Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
And he wasn't going to let history repeat itself, this time with him caught in the crossfire. So when sources claimed Martin was done with Bad Boys, it wasn't just a career move, it was a statement, a quiet act of rebellion, a final no thanks to the system that nearly broke him once. Because in Hollywood, surviving isn't about staying hot, it's about knowing when to walk away. And Martin Lawrence, he walked. Hollywood has a way of protecting its secrets. When Martin screamed, "They're trying to kill me," the industry chalked it up to exhaustion. When he got banned from SNL, they called it inappropriate humor. When he collapsed into a coma, they said overheating. But when you add it all up, the lawsuits, the bans, the breakdowns, the distancing from Will Smith, it paints a darker picture. Not of a man losing control, but of a man trying to survive a machine designed to break him. Martin Lawrence wasn't just a comedian, he was a trailblazer. He inspired a generation. And maybe he knew too much. In Hollywood, it's not about who laughs the loudest. It's about who's left standing when the lights go out. So ask yourself, what really happened to Martin Lawrence? And more importantly, who's next? If this opened your eyes, even a little, don't forget to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. We've got more untold stories from behind the curtain coming your way. This is Fame Crate, where we unbox the secrets they don't want you to hear.